All praises to AHAYAH and AHAYAH alone. For AHAYAH alone is our Savior, alone is our Master, alone is our Redeemer, alone is our King, AHAYAH. This is Brother Holly with the first Spirit of Truth broadcast here on the AHAYAH House channel, as well as the House of AHAYAH channel on this set apart Sabbath day. As always, first and foremost, I'd like to give all glory, praise, and honor to AHAYAH and AHAYAH alone. The great I am, he who is, was, and is to come, the Almighty One, AHAYAH. For he alone saved us. He alone redeemed our soul from destruction. That was a word I gave to some childhood friends of mine. That all praises to the Most High for modern technology. Children, I've heard from people this past week that I hadn't heard from in years. I hadn't talked to in years. People I grew up with on the same dusty street in my hometown, which will remain nameless for obvious reasons. But suffice it to say, shout out to all the folks back home. Shout out to all my brothers and sisters who I love with all the love in my heart, who I grew up with. This is a shout out to the gang. You know who you are. All praises. We're going to read today from Psalms. And children, I cannot stress enough to you to read the Psalms of David. Read them. David is our king. David is the only Messiah. And we're going to read about the anointed Messiah here in a moment. And what AHAYAH said to him. And what AHAYAH said not only to him, but about us, his people. But we're all very familiar with the scriptures. Touch not my anointed and do my prophets no harm. There are groups of people, not only in this country, but around the world, that keep putting their mouth and their hands on the Most High anointed. For he has poured out his spirit on all the seed of Jacob. All 12 tribes worldwide has had the spirit of AHAYAH poured out upon them. We are all basking in his loving kindness and tender mercies. We are all basking in his great love toward us. But these heathen keep putting their hands on us. These heathens keep putting their mouth on us. And you saw, and we talked about it in last week's broadcast, when you put your mouth on us, expect to be judged and judged severely. You wag your mouth at us around the clock, and you saw, not this Friday, but last Friday, what happened to you. Keep wagging your mouth, and the Most High will take you out as well. Oh, yeah, the Most High said, I'm the one that kill and make alive. AHAYAH do all these things. Don't get it twisted. AHAYAH put silences mouths. And we're going to read more about that in today's broadcast. But suffice to say, we're going to read right now Psalms 2. So if you have your book of scriptures, open them up and let's go. Psalms chapter 2. Let's start reading at verse 1. It says, why do the heathens rage? That's a great question. What's wrong with you, heathen? Y'all all upset. One of your loudest mouths got put to silence, and you've been upset ever since. You don't know who to get mad at. You're mad at everybody, except the people who you should be mad at. That is yourselves. I can say this with great clarity, boldness, and with a high degree of accuracy. No Hebrew had anything to do with what happened to your loudest mouth. Okay? We have nothing to do with it. It happened in the most Hebrew-free place probably in this country. So if you want to be mad and you want to roll out the National Guard, yeah, they need to go west of the Mississippi. Yep, when you get to Nebraska, keep going west. Keep going until you see some salt mines, some salt flats. Then you found it. When you see beehives. Yeah, that's where you need to go. That's where violence is running rampant. They just busted a trucker They had two small children, two small girls, in a refrigerated car in that same state. He got in a car accident, and when the police came out to investigate the car accident, they saw two little eyes looking through a slit in the refrigerated car. Then they, with a great deal of hesitation, forced the driver of the truck to open it. And he first feigned ignorance, but he had to just plead the fifth. Say, I'm going to hold my right to remain silent. And there was bedding in there where those two young girls under the age of 12 were. They were being trafficked children. And that shipment originated in that same state. He just wasn't passing through that state. It originated in that state. So more than we seen, all the heathens are being just put on blast right now. All praise to AHAYAH for it. Let's go. Why do the heathens rage and the people imagine a vain thing? See, everything about what they're mad about is vanity. It ain't real. Like I said a moment ago, they mad at people they ain't got nothing to do with it. Nobody look like me had anything to do with it. Why you mad at us? Heathens, why you mad? I can answer that question. You're mad because one of your loudest mouthpieces got silenced by somebody that looked just like him. That's why you're mad. I'll read it again. Psalms 2:1. Why do the heathens rage and the people imagine a vain thing? The kings of the earth set themselves and the rulers take counsel together against AHAYAH and against his anointed, say. Now, when it says and his anointed, they're going to use plural language talking about his anointed. His anointed is not just one person. His anointed are his people. For as I mentioned earlier, it says in Isaiah and again in Ezekiel, he will pour out his spirit on his people, the seed of Jacob. It says in Isaiah, the seed of Jacob. I'll pour out my spirit on the seed of Jacob. Most heathens who can't open a Bible know of the prophecy in Joel, because it's repeated in that fraudulent manuscript called the New Testament. That prophecy is repeated. But if the fraudulent manuscript known as the New Testament did not exist, you would know exactly who his sons and daughters are. And we have proven that on these broadcasts in the past. Look up sons and daughters on AHAYAH's House of Hannah and House of AHAYAH for further information. But suffice it to say, the Most High's sons and daughters are the seed of Jacob as well, as his anointed, as the sheep of his pasture. We're all those things and much, much more. All praises. I continue. Psalms 2:2. The kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against AHAYAH and against his anointed, saying, let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us. There it is. They're speaking of the anointed as a group. We're a group. So when the Most High says in his holy word, touch not my anointed and do my prophets no harm, he's talking about a group. Not just one person. He's talking about a group of people. All his people are prophets, according to Torah. And all his people are anointed, according to the prophets. But what do? They put both their hands and their mouth on us, and judgment cometh from on high for that. Almost I ain't letting you. Like I said last week, children, time slap out. Shout out to you, Granny. Time slap out for playing. Time slap out for you putting your hands on AHAYAH's people. Time slap out for you even wagging your tongue at us. Judgment cometh when you do these things. And it's going to be swift, and it's going to be vicious. AHAYAH ain't playing with you. Mm. I'll read it again. Psalms 2 verse 3. Let us break their bands asunder. See, they don't want to be hindered in any way dealing with you and dealing with me. They want to have free reign to do whatever they want to do. They don't want no restraints on them. No. Let us break those bands asunder. Let us cast their cords from us. We don't want to be held accountable. Hello. We don't want to be held accountable. No, we want to do whatever we want to them people. They used to be our slaves. We can treat them any way we want to. Okay. Psalm chapter 2, verse 3 again. Let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us. No restraints. He that sits in the heavens shall laugh. Okay, you're mad at me, heathen. You're mad at me and people that look like me because we chuckling about your mouthpiece being silenced. We chuckling about it. The Most High busting his side open about it. It says right here, he that sits in the heavens shall laugh. He's probably still chuckling about it. Did you see the way I took that loudmouth heathen out? Wow. So put that in your New Testament crooked belief jar. Put that in your idol Shah. That's what I'm going to call him from now on. Your idol Shah. Your idol of salvation. Your idol Shah. Put that in the pipe of your idol Shah and smoke that. Smoke that the Most High laughed at it. Smoke that the Most High is laughing at you. Smoke it. Enjoy it. Understand. Hear it loud and proud. The Most High laughed when your mouthpiece got silenced. When it went, hush. Told him to hush. He ain't ever gonna say another word. Hush. Wow. Psalms 2:4. We'll read it again. He that sits in the heavens shall laugh. AHAYAH shall have them in derision. That's where you are right now. You don't know what to do and who to be mad. You just mad at everybody doing all kinds of stuff. What are you protesting? Now, if anybody even repeats your mouthpiece, say what he said. Use his own words. Yeah, fire him. What? What's wrong with you? You're in derision. Most High laughing at you and put you in derision. We just watching you spin, man. Let the heathen. Why you raging, heathen? And why do the heathen? Why you raging? What's wrong, heathen? Psalms 2:4 again. He that sits in the heavens shall laugh. AHAYAH shall have them in derision. Then, after he's laughed at you, after he's put you in chaos, then shall he speak unto them in his wrath. Okay, heathens, hear me loud and proud. It ain't nearly over. Most High is about to wear all y'all out. Yeah, he gonna speak to you in his wrath. He's pouring out his wrath now. It's pretty much over. There's not one, not two, not three, not four, not five, not six, but 7 comets coming your way. Oh, Brother Holly, you're here too. Most High know how to take care of his people. He know exactly where y'all are. And you saw he can strike with precision to take you out. And he got the C3I or see the third eye at last. Don't let that go over your head. He got the C3I Atlas or the see the third eye at last coming with the 7 comets. All will be here next month. Yeah, it all be. So, y'all, it might not be long, heathens. I'm just saying. You're in derision, but the Most High about to speak to you in his wrath. Psalms 2:5. Then shall he speak unto them in his wrath and vex them in his sore displeasure. You're about to be vexed. Have you vexed the stranger in this country? Have you made their life horrible? You made these poor people who came here just looking for a job. You made their life horrible. You show up in mass like night riders, like you used to do my folk. In Reconstruction, you show up in mass like night riders. Throw them in the back of a truck and drive them off to some goodness knows where. They had to close down the torture chamber you had down in the Everglades, didn't they? They closed that down. You got people just dying. You put them down there just to die. If they ain't die from the elements, they ain't die from heat stroke, they ain't die from hunger, they ain't die from thirst, they ain't die from insect and snake bite. You send them down there to die. You ain't retaining them for what? You sent them there to die. So the Most High got a place for you to go. But unlike them, ain't no closing where you're going. You go into that place that burns with fire and brimstone. Yeah, that's your prison. Prepare to meet your maker, heathen. He's mad now. He's through with you. Wow. Psalms 2:5 again. Then shall he speak unto them in his wrath and vex them in his sore displeasure. Yet I have set my king upon my Quadash hill of Zion. He said, I'm doing all this to the heathen, but hey, over here. Hey, my kids. I've set the king on the hill here in Zion. I set up David. And what did he say to David? Psalms 2:7, I will declare the decree. AHAYAH have said unto me, this is David speaking, you are my son. This is what AHAYAH said to David. You are my son. This day have I begotten you. Oh, give me my first time out. Did not your idol Shah, wasn't that said of him in Acts 13? Oh, a lot of y'all forget that Brother Holly came out of not only Constantine Christianity, Brother Holly came out of Hebrew Christianity too. Hebrew. Brother Holly used to be a Hebrew Christianite. Sure was. But Brother Holly read Philippians chapter 2 one day, where your idol Shah had a name. It said of him that he had a name above every name. I had to call time out. I said, that ain't right. That can't be right. Then I started looking at what your idol Shah was saying. How that he was going to draw men to himself. How that he was the only way to the Father. When the Father asked you in Isaiah chapter 1 to come directly to him. Come, let us reason together, says AHAYAH. That ain't what your idol Shah said. Your idol Shah said, you got to talk to him. No man come to the Father but by me, he said. Wow. When I started seeing it for what it was, he ain't nothing but an idol. Nothing but an idol. He is the idol shepherd spoken of in Zechariah chapter 12. I had to throw it out. I throw it all out. Let me help you, child. You don't need his blood for nothing. Okay? You don't need it. If his blood was needed, the new covenant doesn't contain any blood. Look that up on this channel. New covenant is bloodless. No sacrifice, no blood. It is just a jury to you. He said, I'll put my law in your heart, and in your parts I'll write it. And he'll forgive your iniquity for his own sake. Like he said in Isaiah and he said in the Psalms. He'll forgive your iniquity for his own sake. He just chooses to do it. So what you need your idol shop for? Throw your idol shop out, or your idol of salvation. Because Shah just to save. Your idol that you think will save you. Isaiah chapter 45 said, your idol can't save you. You praying to a God that cannot save. And the phrase Bahashem ain't nowhere in the Tanakh. I challenge any of you to see anybody praying in the name of anybody in what we call the Old Testament. I'll wait. I'll be right here. More Greek and Roman foolishness that you bought hook, line, and sinker because your oppressor said so. I digress. Psalms 2:6. Yet have I set my king, speaking of David, upon my Kodashah hill of Zion. I will declare and decree. AHAYAH has said unto me, this is David speaking, you are my son, this day have I begotten you. And this is what AHAYAH is saying to David. Ask of me, verse 8, Psalms 2:8. Ask of me, and I shall give you the heathen for your inheritance. The same heathen that are raging, the same heathen that are speaking against you, the same heathen that don't want to have any restraints concerning you. Cast your coat. No, they want to come at you with no repercussion. They want to come at you with absolutely no responsibility for their actions. But they're going to be held accountable. They're going to be kept in derision. They're going to be destroyed. AHAYAH is coming to vex them. He's already here, and he's already doing it. Like I told you, there's not one, not two, not three, not four, but not five, not six, but 7 comments coming. Along with C3I at last, or see the third eye at last. Don't let that go over your head. These are wonderful times. This is AHAYAH's doing, just like what happened two Fridays ago. That was AHAYAH's doing, and it was marvelous in my eyes. AHAYAH laughed at the heathen being destroyed. Why can't I? You're mad at AHAYAH for laughing? See, I just read it. I'll read it again. He that sits in, this is Psalms 2:4. He that sits in the heavens shall laugh. Adonaiah shall have them in derision. He laughing at you, okay? AHAYAH laughing at. What happened to you, boy? He did it. He laughing at it. He laughing about it. He laughing about it. Are you mad at him? Are you mad at the great I am? Are you mad at the creator of all things? Are you mad? Heathen, are you mad? Why are you raging? I guess y'all mad at him. Woo! Psalms 2:8. Ask of me. This is AHAYAH speaking to David. Ask of me, and I shall give you the heathen for your inheritance, and the uttermost parts of the earth for your possession. See, look, my second time out. Children, I've said it on these channels, and I'll say it again. If you are a blood and bone descendant of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the whole planet belongs to you. The whole thing. Not that little sliver on the Mediterranean Sea. The whole enchilada. Well, brother, why don't we have it? Because the wicked are here. The wicked are going to be cut off from the earth. Psalm 37. That's why I told you just a moment ago at the beginning of this broadcast. I said very plainly, read the Psalms all the time. You will know blow for blow, point for point, what is happening and what's going to happen. It's all there. It's all there. All that time you've been wasting reading the New Testament, talking about your idol shop, spend that same time reading something that is prevalent, that is meaningful, that is true. The Psalms of David, the King of Yasharahla, the King who moved after AHAYAH's own heart. the king, that the Almighty Hayah, AHAYAH is his name, said, I found him with my anointing oil. He shall be king forever, and his seed never destroyed. Wow. Psalms 2:7, I will declare the decree. AHAYAH has said to me, you are my son. Who's his son? David. David's AHAYAH's son. This day have I begotten you. Ask of me, and I shall give you the heathen for your inheritance, and the uttermost parts of the earth for your possession. You shall break them with the rod of iron. You shall dash them in pieces like a potter's vessel. We highlight. Heathens. It is decreed from on high that you be broken like the potter's vessel, that you be broken up with a rod of iron. There is no salvation for you, heathen. The only thing you got to look forward to, heathen, while you're raging, while you're mad at me for something I ain't do, the only thing you got to look forward to, heathen, is destruction. Period, point blank, full stop. I'll read it again. Psalms 2:9, you shall break them with a rod of iron. You shall dash them in pieces like a potter's vessel. Oh, no, y'all. Other heathen. No, we ain't doing it. We ain't doing it. These are our marching orders. These are our marching orders. Rise up and destroy them, David. All praises. Be wise now, therefore, O you kings. Be instructed, you judges of the earth. Serve AHAYAH with fear and rejoice with trembling. Serve AHAYAH, child of Jacob, with fear and rejoice with trembling. Ain't nothing wrong with being happy when you see AHAYAH's judgments in the earth. I've been putting that on everything. That's my main troll. When I'm trolling in these social media streets these days, my main troll is this. All praises to AHAYAH for his righteous judgments that are in the earth. You know what you get when you put that down in the comments? They never rebuttal it. Ever. What can you say? What did I say wrong? I just said all praise to AHAYAH for his righteous judgments being in the earth. That's all you need to say. That's all any of us need to say. And we good with AHAYAH. We giving him his praise for what he's doing. It's AHAYAH's doing. It's marvelous in my eyes. I digress. Psalms 2:10. Be wise now, therefore, O you kings. Listen up, kings. Be instructed, you judges of the earth. Serve AHAYAH with fear and rejoice with trembling. Psalms 2:12. Kiss the Son. Who is the Son? We found out who the Son is in verse 7. That would be David. Kiss the Son lest he be angry and you perish from the way. When his wrath, whose wrath? David's, is kindled but a little. What happens when David's wrath is kindled? He gonna break with, verse 9 is what happens when his wrath is kindled just a little. You shall break them with a rod of iron, and you shall dash them in pieces like a potter's vessel. Who are they? The heathen. Listen up, heathens. Again, AHAYAH has said, touch not my anointed, do my prophets no harm. No harm. And all his people are prophets according to Torah. Moses said, I would that all AHAYAH's people be prophets. Don't do them no harm. Keep your mouth off us and keep your hands off us. Or be ready to be destroyed. Period, point blank, full stop. And you saw in broad daylight, live and in living color, broadcast from coast to coast and around the world, what happens when you put your mouth on us. Soon as he deflected to put his mouth on us. Bye. Shush. Hush. Hush. I hushed him for good. You hear me? He was hushed for good in front of everybody. So, heathen, I'm trying to help here. Psalms chapter 2, verse 12. Kiss the son. Who's the son, heathen? That would be David. Kiss the son, lest he be angry and you perish from the way, when his wrath is kindled but a little. Blessed are all they that put their trust in him. Blessed are all they that believe that David is the true king of Yashar'Allah, the anointed king, the Messiah. Blessed are all they that believe that, that trust in that. Oh, Brother Holly, we shouldn't be looking for David. Not these days. Hold your horses. This is my last verse. Turn to Hosea chapter 3. Hosea chapter 3, verse 5, children. We're going to read Hosea chapter 3, verses 4 and 5. We're going to shut it down. 31 minutes. Thank you for your patience. For the children of Yashar'Allah, this is Hosea 3, 4 and 5. For the children of Yashar'Allah shall abide many days without a king. Check. And without a prince. Check. And without a sacrifice. Check. And without an image. Check. And without an ephod. Check. And without a teraphim. Check. Afterwards, after we've abided for many days with no David. After we've abided many days with no prince. After we've abided many days without a sacrifice or an image or an ephod. We ain't got no leadership, no nothing. We got nothing. What do we have in this country, children, today? Zero. We ain't got nothing. Hosea 3:5. Afterwards shall the children of Yashar'Allah return and seek AHAYAH, their AHAYAH, and David their king. Who? It didn't say son of David. That's what the demons call your idol shop. What are you doing to mess with us, old son of David? That's what the demons said. It was the demons that called him son of David. Didn't no priest or prophet call him son of David. Not in the New Testament. Your idol shop was called son of David by the demons and anointed by a prostitute. And you want to follow him. Woo! Hosea 3:5. Afterwards shall the children of Yashar'Allah return and seek AHAYAH, their AHAYAH, and David their king, and shall fear AHAYAH and his goodness in the latter days. No, brother, this already happened. It says right here, in the latter days. These are the latter days. These are the days of the seven comets. These are the days of see the third eye at last. These are the days of the heathens raging. Let the heathens rage, and you heathens prepare for the final judgment. All praises to the Most High, the great I am, he who is, was, and is to come, the Almighty One. AHAYAH is our Master, our Savior, our Redeemer and King. Yada. Hayah.